So we're continuing with the Australian related content, and by now I've been watching so many of these videos that basically my YouTube feed is bombarded with this type of stuff. I was scrolling through my feed and then I saw this one called 50 Things That Are Only Possible in Australia. It's by a YouTube channel called Brightside, which I've never heard of before, which is surprising because it has 45 million subscribers. This video called 50 Things That Are Only Possible in Australia, it has 2.1 million views, so it must be good. So without any further ado, let's just see what it has cooking for us. Let's go.
Okay, it's pop quiz time.
All right.
Which country has the longest fence in the world?
China.
How about the second largest Greek population? 3 times more sheep than people? Okay, one word.
Okay, I was kidding with China, but I mean, first thing that comes to mind when you mention the largest fence in the world is the Great Wall of China. By the way, I was there for 6 months. Ni hao. In Beijing. Anyway, I get sidetracked a lot. Sorry about that. The second largest Greek population and the 3 times more sheep than people. I'm assuming the answer to all of this is Australia, right? But I would have never guessed that.
Will give it away. Kangaroos! Yeah, I'm talking about the land down under. So, what do you know about Australia? So, let's start with the name.
We'll find out.
Australia comes from the Latin word australis, which means southern. Way back in the 2nd century, there were legends of a mysterious Terra Australis Incognita, or unknown southern land. Well, now it's very known. So, let's get to know more about it. Despite the stereotypes of hot, sunny weather year-round, the Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do.
Whoa.
Better grab your skis.
Okay.
The world's longest national
I would have never
highway
guessed
is in
that.
Australia. It stretches for over 9,000 miles. For comparison, the Earth's diameter is about 7,900 miles. It's actually a network of highways that connects all capitals of the mainland states. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Wall of China.
There you go.
But what about the Great Fence of Australia? Okay, that's not what it's called, but still, the Dingo Fence in Southeast Australia stretches for nearly 3,500 miles. For comparison, it would easily cover the entire span of the U.S., from Los Angeles to Houghton, Maine. Now, it might not be…
Okay, remember how I was saying that I've been watching so many Australian-related videos? This thing about the dingoes just made me remember one that I was watching maybe a week ago or something about this case in Australia. And if you're from Australia and you know this case, please correct me if I say anything stupid or anything wrong. But there was this case in Australia of a baby that I think disappeared, and there was this couple, the parents of the baby, that they claimed that a dingo had taken their baby. But the authorities didn't believe them, and they suddenly got incarcerated. And I can't remember how many years or months or whatever, how much time they spent in prison. But after however much time it passed, the police was doing another investigation, and then they found the baby clothes buried the way a dingo would do it. So it turned out that they were actually telling the truth, and it was a huge case in Australia. And then I think it was also popularized by a TV show where they were saying the dingo ate my baby. I actually didn't know about that. I learned that from the video as well, but apparently the media was making fun of it. Of course, they didn't really want to make fun of a baby basically dying from being taken by a dingo, but they just were using this phrase probably without knowing the context behind it. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again, but I thought it was interesting to mention with this whole dingo fence. I'm not sure if it's related. Maybe I'm guessing it's some type of safety stuff, but I just wanted to mention it. Anyway, I'll continue with I'll try to let the video run a bit more now.
It's so surprising to know that Australia is huge. It's about the same size as the continental U.S., about 2,500 miles wide. The distance from the west to east coast is further than Barcelona to Moscow. In all, Australia is the world's 6th largest country, and the only one that's also a whole continent. But with all that territory, over 80% of Australians live within 60 miles of the coast. This makes the
Okay.
country one of the most coastal dwelling populations in the world. And that means a whole lot of beaches. In fact, they have so many that if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take you almost 30 years to see them all.
What?
The big-
Whoa! That means it has like 10,000 beaches, right? Can that be true? Jesus Christ. Even more, right? Like 30 times 365. I don't know how much that is, but it sounds like a lot.
In Australia is about 40,000 square miles in area. South Korea could fit into it with room to spare.
Jesus.
The country's termites are busy building huge properties as well. Their mounds are the tallest animal-made structures on this planet. Before humans arrived, the continent was home to megafauna. If you lived there about 46,000 years ago, you'd be dead today. But you would have seen 10-foot-tall kangaroos,
Whoa.
23-foot-long goanna lizards, and ducks the size of an adult horse. Quack, quack. The largest
Whenever I see kangaroos these days, I can't help but think about the little AI video that has been going completely viral about the kangaroo that couldn't catch his airplane. Gotta admit, the first time I saw it, I thought it was true. I was fooled by it. AI is getting scary as fuck. Anyway, let's continue. Have you seen that video? Let me know in the comments if you thought it was true as well.
living structure on the planet is the Australian Great Barrier Reef. By the way, it has its own mailbox, and there's a rumor that the fish there use eel mail. Yeah. Neither kangaroos nor emus can walk backward. That's a fact. And that's why they're painted on the Australian coat of arms. Keep moving forward.
Oh,
The platypus, an egg-laying mammal that lives only in Australia, is one of the rare venomous mammals on this planet. Luckily, while the venom has an excruciatingly painful effect on people, it's not lethal. The takeaway? Don't fuss with a platypus. By the way, when the first platypus was brought to England, people there were sure that it was a joke. The English believed that Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right
Really?
up until he bit them. Not laughing now, are ya? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside of Greece itself is in Australia.
I would not
to be
have
more
guessed that.
precise, in Melbourne. More than 160,000 people who live there say they come from Greek descent. Melbourne was the richest city in the world in 1880. These days,
I really want to know the history behind that. I mean, why would there be so many Greeks in Australia? There must be some context in history that I'm missing.
Tokyo, Japan holds this title. And until 2018, Melbourne had been rated as the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row.
Wow.
But then it was bumped down to second place after Vienna, Austria. Come on, Melbourne, get back in the game. One of Melbourne's founders was John Batman. Yep, that was
John
his real
Batman.
name. And get this, the city was temporarily called Batmania. Too bad they decided to change it to Robinville? Nah. In 2018, Australia ranked
Batmania.
third after Norway and Switzerland on the Human Development Index. This index is based on education, life expectancy, and citizens' income. Basically, they got a good thing
Well done.
going down under there.
Well done.
In 2005, security guards at the Parliament House in Canberra were prohibited from calling people mate. But the ban only lasted for a day, mate. G'day. If you're ever in Western Australia, you can
Why?
visit one of their many super salty pink lakes. They get the bubblegum hue from a certain type of algae and bacteria, and they're totally safe to swim in. Just be careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in what looks like a giant pool of Pepto-Bismol. You can thank Australia for coming up with the word selfie in the first place.
Oh, really?
There are about 74 million sheep to 25 million people in Australia, which makes an impressive ratio of 3 to 1. Only China and India have more than that. Oh, and the kangaroo thing is totally true. There are twice as many kangaroos as there are people there.
Wow.
That's 50 to 25 million. Speaking
Wow.
of which, when a baby kangaroo is born, it's only half an inch long. It's also hairless and totally pink.
Half
Kinda
an
looks like
inch.
a gummy bear.
What?
What else is there in Australia? Oh, that's right, koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more camels than koalas. Australia is the source of a lot of the Middle East's camels.
Alright, I'm getting the video wrong, but there's a lot of these facts that I would have never guessed.
Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession of more than 110 pounds of potatoes. Well,
Okay.
every country has its obscure, bizarre laws.
Yeah, and that's a bizarre
The
law.
architect of the world-famous Sydney Opera House got the idea of this unique construction while munching on an orange. If you combine all the sails of the building's roof, you'll get a perfect sphere.
Oh.
The most ancient fossils in the world were found in Australia. They were no less than 3.4 billion years old,
Wow.
even older than my leftovers in the fridge. There are so many different species in this country that only 25% of them have been discovered so far.
Wow.
Of the animals discovered to be native to Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously turns into Hungry Jack's as soon as you land in Australia. It's the Aussie franchise of the famous fast food chain. Australia
Why?
is a unique continent
Why not just call it Burger King? Was there a Burger King not related to the actual big Burger King already registered there? I don't know.
that doesn't house any active
Interesting.
volcanoes. It's also the flattest continent on our planet. But it's got plenty of mountains, and one of them is called Mount Disappointment. It's just 2,600 feet tall, and naturally,
Disappointment.
explorers William Hovell and Hamilton Hume expected to see a great view from the top.
That's
However,
funny that they called
after
it Mount
climbing the
Disappointment.
mountain, they discovered that there were too many trees growing on top and blocking the view completely. Guess how the men felt?
Disappointed.
Australia has tons of unique flora and fauna species that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Among those are a staggering 1,500
Oh,
spider
Jesus,
species.
spiders.
Spider species.
I can't deal with
On the
that.
bright side, and we are, while some of them are fatally poisonous, most are completely harmless. But how do I tell them apart? Oh, the poisonous
question.
ones wear signs. Got it.
No, okay.
It's also
Then
where
it's
you'll
easy.
find 21 of the world's top 25 most venomous snakes. More than
Jesus.
90% of Australia is covered with some kind of vegetation. Since 1988, Australia has had a national floral emblem, and it's the golden wattle. When this plant blooms, it gets covered with the country's national colors, green and gold. Australia is a multinational country, with more than 200 different languages and dialects spoken there. The most
Wow.
popular non-English languages are Mandarin, Greek, Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. There
Okay.
are 19 UNESCO
No Spanish. Damn.
World Heritage Sites in Australia, including 12 natural sites, 3 cultural sites, and 4 mixed sites.
Okay.
The difference between Australia's total length and its width is only 200 miles. Hey, do you have an 8-hour working day? You can thank Australian stonemasons for that. In 1865, they demanded to make 8-hour shifts the standard, and it spread throughout the world from there.
Oh, well, thank
With
you,
a
Australia.
Per square mile, Australia has an extremely low population density. For comparison, there are about 93 people per square mile in the U.S. The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights. So, have I missed any cool facts about Australia? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like
I learned a lot from this video.
with a friend. But hey, don't go waltzing Matilda just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to
Alright, wow, that was a lot of information that I did not know from Australia. The Greek population, that was a bit surprising to me. The fact that they have 200 languages being spoken in Australia, oof, Jesus, that's a lot. The fact that kangaroos are born and what did he say? It was like less than 2 inches long or something like that, or maybe even smaller. Okay, there were a lot of facts. I won't remember all of them right now, and they're all kind of splattered all in my head. But wow, that was a lot to take in. Did you know already all these facts? And how do you Australians survive with so many snakes and spiders coming after you? And how do you distinguish between which ones are dangerous and which ones are not? So many questions. Anyway, I guess that is it for today's video. As usual, thank you so much for watching. If there's anything that you would like me to react to next, please put it down in the comments down below. Without any further ado, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.